The Canadian University of Lethbridge has suspended Professor Anthony James Hall for allegedly promoting anti-Semitism and denying the Holocaust. Professor Hall has taught liberal education and globalization studies as a distinguished scholar for some 26 years. We are now joined by Dr. Hall himself to get his take on this. Well, Professor Hall, thanks for joining us. I listened to your statements apparently after you received your letter to discontinue, I guess, your services for the university. And basically the big question that you raised there is, to begin with this conversation, is universities are supposed to be a place for free speech and to express views. And it seems like this university is not adhering to that.
Yes, the Faculty Association has declared that the university administration is acting illegally on this matter. I'm a tenured professor, and of course tenure is a very important institution. Protect those professors who come up with conclusions which may be menacing to certain powerful interests, like for instance the government of Israel. It's well known I speak on Press TV fairly often. So the assault on the institution of tenure is an assault on the ability of universities to be places of open and free discussion, asking questions. It's a kind of political crackdown, and the crackdown is coming from the Anti-Defamation League of B'nai B'rith, the Canadian branch plant of it, the B'nai B'rith Canada, and they essentially have taken over control of the university administration. They did a Facebook operation on me, planted an image, a disgusting image, which I've condemned publicly. In this image, there's the word "kill all Jews." Then these words have been planted in my mouth. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation is a big part of this. So I have been aggressed upon and smeared and misrepresented. Of course, I'm against genocide, and that's my history. The operation here, I would say, is basically emanating from Israel, the government of Israel, and Facebook are cooperating to shut down really free discussion, not only in universities, but on Facebook. And the result being that there will be no atmosphere in universities, no protections for those who say own what seem to be in the West unorthodox things. But for the people who will listen to Press TV, of course, the interpretations I'm giving are very kind of mainstream, and it's clear that Palestinians are subjected to genocidal actions. For instance, there's a dossier on me. It's something called Canary Mission. This smearing of university faculty, this assault on BDS movement, this is very organized, and we've seen it in the United States, and now I'm being made a test case because I am a senior full professor with tenure who has been suspended, and that should be an oxymoron. Not only have I been suspended, but suspended without pay. So I am getting letters from around the world acknowledging that this is a test case for something very diabolical. We've seen, of course, the perversion of the judiciary, of the mainstream media. We've seen many agencies being subjected to this powerful lobby centered in Israel that doesn't want free and open discussion. We've seen satellite connections taken off. For instance, Press TV isn't distributed nearly as widely as it should be because of this censorship mode. Now the universities are being subjected to this, and I'm at the center of this, and I feel that I need to stand up myself for freedom and free speech and tenure at the universities.
Well, it appears from what you're saying that perhaps the bulk of the reason for your suspension lies in the fact that you've expressed what is pretty much known out there, and that is the atrocities that are happening, in so many words, in the occupied territories as exercised by Israel. But I'm guessing that what you said has been effective in order for this type of motion to be, I guess, brought upon you. But what's curious over here is how this was able to penetrate the administration of the university. Did you have any forewarning from anybody there that you were perhaps being looked at?
I didn't find out about this until mid-September, but the operation started in late August while I was in Kansas with a Jewish colleague who is a 9/11 truther. And I really think there is a panic right now within Israel First centers of power in Israel and the United States and Canada and elsewhere, because the 9/11 mythology, the religious fable that was planted on the day of 9/11 is coming undone, whether it be the 28 pages. And people generally know that we haven't been told the truth about 9/11. And me and Christopher Bolin and Alan Zabrowski and Dr. Barrett and many others, we're now looking at who did it, and it's very clear the only real sensible explanation where the evidence points is that it was an Israel First neocon, a Likudnik Israel sort of Netanyahu gang job. And this is well documented, and this is an area of scholarship, legitimate scholarship, even though the likes of Noam Chomsky, who is, I think, a kind of Israeli agent, condemned the 9/11 truth movement as some kind of joke or some kind of pathetic fallback of people who can't succeed. No, this is a serious academic project, a people's project with tenured professors like myself near the center of it. We do False Flag Weekly News every week, and I knew the B'nai B'rith was on my case last June when I was smeared for doing this internet show with Dr. Kevin Barrett, of course, who was turfed out of his job at the University of Wisconsin. And it seems that university administrators are very easy to bribe, to intimidate. I have no doubt that the B'nai B'rith, in taking over the administration of the University of Lethbridge, Dr. Mike Mon, president, that there is threats to stopping of funding, cutting back of funding. There's a big building project taking place. And of course, fellow faculty in my university and throughout the university system in Alberta and throughout Canada and throughout the United States, the idea that this sacred institution, and we organize our lives around getting this tenure. It's not easy to get. I got it 22 years ago. But suddenly the rules are changed, and now universities are going to simply be under the political thumb of people like Dr. Mike Mon, who is being flooded now with letters condemning him. There's a petition calling for the resignation of the Board of Governors, Kurt E. Schlachter, with over 500 signatures, and the word is going out. And I think among the Ummah, who have good reason to know that Zionists play dirty, and I think in the Islamic Republic of Iran, the reality, through Stuxnet and cyber attacks and assassination of nuclear scientists and lies in the media, and taking over judiciaries, and that it's well known that this B'nai B'rith group, the Anti-Defamation League, play really dirty. Mm-hmm. When I left the New Horizon Conference in 2014, there was Abe Foxman saying these people at the New Horizon Conference, including me and Dr. Barrett and Thierry Messon and Ken O'Keefe and many others, were conspiracy theorists, we're anti-Semitic, we're Holocaust deniers, and lo and behold, some of us are even 9/11 conspiracy theories. These weaponized terms are easily turned on, the public opinion in the West, and so this B'nai B'rith has done an unrelenting media campaign. There's a person called Ryan Belrose, who happens to be a native man, who says he's a Zionist, who says that the Israeli Jews are rightfully conquering and taking back their land as indigenous peoples. This is the person who was hired to plant this Facebook post on me. I really think Facebook is involved too, that this is, on some level, is an operation to get people used to the idea that Facebook must be regulated to stop the quote-unquote anti-Semitism going on Facebook, and so that the Israeli side of the story can be told properly and the Palestinian side of the story can be suppressed. And the BDS movement on campus, of course, really makes the Israeli government nervous, I think, rightfully so.
Okay, thank you for that. We appreciate it. Anthony
Thank you.
Hall, Editor-in-Chief of the American Herald Tribune there. We appreciate it. Thank you.